What if I told you that a trade deal between India and Europe just triggered a missile defense shockwave that could seriously challenge American dominance in Europe? This is not speculation. This is not hype. And Washington is definitely watching this very closely. The moment India and the European Union signed their free trade agreement, something unexpected happened. The story stopped being about tariffs, exports, and supply chains, and suddenly became about security, sovereignty, and missile defense. Because now, Europe is talking about India's Extended Range Air Defense System, ERADS. Yes. The same Europe that has relied on American missile shields for decades is now looking at Indian defense technology. And that changes everything. Why this deal shook the world? Let's be very clear. The India-EU FTA is not just a trade agreement. It is a strategic alignment. And that's why reactions were explosive. China was furious, Turkey was sidelined. The US quietly raised eyebrows. Some American commentators even accused Europe of strategic betrayal. Why? Because this deal strengthens India's global influence, economic leverage, and now, security relevance. Europe's real problem: security. Europe's biggest concern today is not trade, it's air defense. Right now, Europe's skies are protected largely by American systems: Patriot missile systems, US-linked radar networks, NATO-controlled software and data pipelines. In simple terms, Europe's air defense backbone is American-controlled. And after NATO tensions, US-EU policy disagreements, the Trump-era pressure tactics, Europe is asking a dangerous question: can we depend on America forever? Enter India's ERADS, Project Kusha. Here's the shocking part. India didn't offer anything. India didn't lobby Europe. India didn't push a deal. Yet discussions inside the EU have already begun around India's ERADS, also known as Project Kusha. Let's break it down simply. Range: 350 plus kilometers, multi-layered air defense, ballistic missile interception, anti-hypersonic capability designed for global-scale threats, not just regional enemies. DRDO plans. Trials by 2027, full deployment soon after. This is strategic-grade technology. Why Europe is interested? European defense experts openly admit something alarming. Europe does not have an integrated long-range missile shield. Look at the reality. France. Approximately 150 kilometers range Germany. 70 to 80 kilometers mid-range Spain. Limited systems. Systems exist, but they are fragmented, non-integrated, and strategically weak. That fragmentation is Europe's biggest vulnerability. Why not just buy from the US? Great question. Europe has four major concerns: political pressure, software and data control by US firms, long-term strategic dependence. Fear of sanctions or restrictions. Europe wants strategic autonomy. And the post-FTA mindset is simple: if we trust India in trade, why not in security? Turkey's frustration. This is where Turkey enters and gets furious. Before the FTA, Turkey offered Europe its Steel Dome missile defense project. What happened? Nothing. No major EU country showed serious interest, no political backing, no momentum. Now, without India even making an offer, Europe is talking about Project Kusha. That's why Turkey is the most irritated player right now. Israel's interest makes this huge. Here's another bombshell. Before Europe, Israel showed interest in India's ERADS, and that matters because Israel is a global leader in missile defense. If Israel considers India's system credible, Europe's interest suddenly looks very real. Is this final? No. Let's be honest. No official deal yet, no MOU, no signed contracts. This is early-stage strategic discussion, but as Project Kusha becomes operational, Europe's demand will grow rapidly because Europe wants integrated missile shield, political independence, freedom from US control. Why America should care if Europe adopts Indian missile defense, Indian radar systems, Indian strategic tech. Then, US defense companies lose billions. American strategic leverage weakens, NATO dynamics fundamentally change. That's why analysts say this could seriously irritate Washington. The big picture. The FTA opened the door. ERADS started the debate. If India-Europe defense cooperation moves forward, this could become one of the biggest geopolitical shifts of the 21st century. Now I want to hear from you. Should Europe join India's ERADS program?